All's well that ends well. Who could have imagined this? The NHL giving similar disciplines to guys that are not at the same skill level? Oh my gosh, somebody pinch me, I must be dreaming. Because 7 minutes ago, it was announced that Tyler Myers has been suspended for 3 games for cross-checking Edmonton's Evan Bouchard. But just minutes after that, heck, not even minutes, seconds after that, also 7 minutes ago, Edmonton's Connor McDavid has been suspended for 3 games for cross-checking Vancouver's Connor Garland. And you can see here, 7 minutes, this tweet has 77,000 views. Let's see, it's probably at more now. Yeah, 77K, 1.1K likes, 280 replies. Everybody is going out there and talking about Connor McDaddy. No, excuse me, McDaddy is McKinnon. McJesus, excuse me, going out there and getting suspended. So both Myers and McDavid are getting themselves 3 games here, as tweeted out by all the insiders and the NHL Player Safety Twitter account. And I wanted to go over some of the replies because this is really funny just to dive into here. Buck Foston said, Department of Player Safety, this is cross-checking. It's not a routine motion to box out or gain body position. McDavid retaliates aggressively and intentionally. He's already been suspended once and fined once before. Is that true? When was he suspended and fined? I don't really remember, but still, well-deserved. What a goon. He actually did the right thing. McDavid finally treated like everyone else. No way a star player got suspended. It really is the wheel of decisions. Here's the thing, man. If this was a regular old player, I don't think there would have been any ambiguity. This was a really bad play. Special treatment again for McDavid. Why is this not 10 games? I think Adam is being a little bit trolling here with that response. Should be more history of dirty play. All the losers in the comments happy that McDavid is suspended. 3 games is worse than it should have been. Actually, I'm shocked. Mick suspended. That's a funny one right there. And yeah, I mean, imagine that, eh? The NHL treating a star player the same way that they treat Tyler Myers. I guess you can say that Myers and McDavid are 2 peas in a pod now, right? To be fair, I do think that both plays were suspendable. I do think they were worthy and deserving of getting the suspensions here. 3 games is actually a bit more than I thought it would be. I thought it would have been like 2 for McDavid, maybe 4 or 5 for Myers, but 3 for both? Hey, it's right there in the middle. It's perfect. And if you wanted to go over some of the fallout, what's going to happen here because of these suspensions, well, do I have a really interesting comment to make for you. Because for me personally, I'm super happy. Take a look at this. This is the week of January 20th, 2025. The Edmonton Oilers have 3 games this week against the Caps, against the Canucks, and against the Sabres. McDavid is going to be out for all of them. And guess whom I'm facing in fantasy this week? Multiple teams that have Connor McDavid and his plus 50 projected points for the next 7 days. I am happy with this. Just 3 games. That's all he needed. 3. 1 or 2 would have been okay, but 3 is amazing. Give him 3 games and take him out for my entire week that I'm playing off against McDavid, guys. Anyways, with the Oilers, of course, they are going to have their own struggles with McDavid out of the lineup, but still, they've been very good as of late, too. Leon Draisaitl is going to be promoted to the top-line center. He's probably going to play with Nuge. I mean, Podkolzin has been a legit top-6 winger for this team, which is always fun to see. Arvidsson is, too. He's been a pretty good addition ever since he came back from injury. Nugent Hopkins, though, he was a recent pickup by me in fantasy, so I'm super excited to see him start to pop off. Just him, though, not Connor McDavid, who's going to be out for the next 3 games. Meanwhile, for the Vancouver Canucks, if you wanted to talk about their team and what they're going to be looking like, well, let's go over to Vancouver here. Everything here looks the same except for JT Miller. We'll talk about that a little bit later into this video, but here are the pairings. Tyler Myers is slotted in here right now. That's not good. He's going to get taken out for 3 games. Let's take a look at Brendan Batchelor because he tweeted out the Canucks practice lines earlier this morning. DeBrusk, Petey, Besser, okay. Sutermill and Garland, okay. They're not putting Miller and Besser together anymore. That is interesting. Are they preparing for the inevitable time that Miller will be removed from the lineup? Who knows? These are the D pairings. Hughes-Friedman, Susie Hronik, Forbort Desharnais, and Myers, who is not going to play. Mark Friedman was recalled up by the Vancouver Canucks this morning. Looks like he'll be playing with Hughes. If Hughes can still produce and look as good as he has this season with Mark Friedman as his D partner and not Phil Hronek, then color me shocked, this dude deserves the Norris Trophy. Phil Hronek getting split up from Quinn Hughes, I actually do like that decision. I like that they're distributing the offensive capability throughout the rest of their D-core, especially considering the fact that Susie Friedman, I'm not too sure how confident I would be in that. Susie has already had his struggles this season. Put him alongside of a defenseman who knows what he's doing in Phil Hronek. And Friedman, bring him up, put him alongside the best defenseman in the gosh darn world right now, see what he's able to do. I've always been a fan of Friedman. Not really like the best player out there, but he definitely works hard and he makes the simple plays count when he has them. So it'll be interesting to see for sure how Friedman is able to handle this role and deployment. Finally, to end off this video, I wanted to talk about JT Miller one more time because we had ourselves some extra quotes that I thought were interesting to dive into. Not necessarily about the trade and the destinations and what teams are involved here, but just about the status. This is what Rick Dhaliwal said earlier this morning on Kipper and Bourne, that from what I'm hearing, the Canucks are not stopping today. They want to get this Miller trade done. So it seems like he is going to be on his way out at some point over the next few hours here, if not the next few days. And I also wanted to talk about this other tweet by Taj. This is what Farhan Lalji said on TSN 1200. It goes over the confrontation, apparently, that had happened in the Vancouver Canucks locker room. What we understand was a confrontation happened, which wasn't physical, after the one game where he got benched, and then the next day the organization announced he was going to take a personal leave. And the way it's phrased here by Farhan, confrontation. There was a confrontation. And that makes it seem like something must have happened behind the scenes. Not physical, of course. No fisticuffs thrown, no punches, no black eyes or anything like that. But a confrontation. Maybe a shout or two, maybe a harsh word or two, maybe something of that nature. That happened after the game when Miller got benched against Nashville, and then he ended up taking his leave of absence afterwards. We didn't hear anything about whether or not it was like mental health related or if it was, you know, external or whatever, and frankly, that's none of our business. But from the way that everything has been shaping up here, and from this piece of information, there was a confrontation, and then he took a leave. It does start to get you a little bit more, let's just say, intrigued as to what might have been the dynamic in that locker room, what the Canucks have been exhibiting, and what JT Miller has gone through as a player on this team. How he has been deployed, how he has been performing, which hasn't been very good for most of the season, and this might be the bow on top, so we'll see whether or not Miller does get traded soon. But I did want to go out there and throw that little detail in here. Farhan Lalji reporting there might have been, or there was, a confrontation after the game where Miller got benched and before he ended up taking his leave of absence. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about these ideas over here. The fact that Myers and McDavid each got suspended 3 games. The fact that JT Miller is not on a line with Besser anymore. The fact that Miller is apparently still going to get traded, or not really fact, but just the idea talked about here by Rick Dhaliwal on Kipper and Bourne. And what are your thoughts as well on a potential confrontation? Let me know in the comments, what do you think? I hope you enjoyed this video. 99 and bye.